Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the LifeBites radio show, where entertainment meets life. And today's topic, very apropos on this 9/11, 13 years ago today, getting to peace. Getting to peace. I think one of the best ways to get to peace as a collective body is to make sure that you are working and finding and discovering your own peace. And we have an eclectic show today talking about peace. It's interesting because each one of them, of my guests, will be talking about peace in their own way. And if you think about it, right, peace is something that doesn't have to be a grandiose aspect of somebody's life. It can be, as I love this quote by Mother Teresa, a peace begins with a smile. And my first guest that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes is Sister Jenna. And she's going to be talking about something she launched a little over a week ago called the Om Challenge. And she'll be talking about what that is. And when I think of her and I see her, she's got one of those smiles that light up a room. So anyway, she'll be our first guest coming up in just a few minutes. Dawn Paul is Donna Quesada, and she is a woman who teaches yoga. She also has written several books, and she'll be talking about how we can refresh ourselves with a 1-minute meditation. So she'll actually be taking us through a 1-minute meditation that can help you throughout your busy day, because that's the thing. You know, we always think that, I've got to go on a vacation, or I've got to, be a monk on the hill before I can find peace. And for most of us that live in the urban cities who are living in busy, cities, busy lifestyles, we have hectic, ways of communication now, right? Finding that moment in the day is what's going to help you not only create but maintain that peace. And then later in the hour, we have Michael Oden. He is a author of a new book, When Nobody's Home. It's about addiction and recovery. And I know Michael personally and professionally. We did a life coaching program at the Los Angeles Mission. You might have heard me talk about it several months ago. And he was one of the male life coaches that actually worked with the men over at the LA Mission. So I'll be excited to hear about his new book. And then at the last segment, one of my favorite people, I've been working with him for several years now, Don O'Melveny. He's the writer of the movie and my partner on Goodnight Marilyn. That is the movie coming out and with the making of. And one of the questions we're asking today is Marilyn Monroe at peace? And is the public at peace with her death? So exciting show. As you know, today is Thursday, September 11th, and it's an interesting time today because in some ways this is part of history, but I don't know about you, Jay, but in 13 years ago today, for myself, I got a call. I was working at a cable television network, and I got a call, oh my God, and I had the television on in the background because I was getting ready for work, and I think it was Good Morning America. And it took a while to digest what was really going on. Do you remember what you were doing back at 9/11? Oh, yes. So our first caller's coming on right now. But, it's just interesting when you think about, kind of going back in time and asking yourself, where were you? People say that. I remember, I don't remember actually, but I remember people talking about it, my family members. Where were you when Kennedy was shot? That's like one of those major moments. And this is one of those times that will be in our, hearts forever. So today it was 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time, this time 13 years ago, when the first plane hit the North Tower. And today the event was closed to the public, except for the families of the victims. There was 2,983 victims, and a lot of the people spoke in terms of their family members. Your memory and my love for you will last forever. This day should be a reflection and a memory only. Just real quick, Jay, where were you this time?
Actually, I was in bed. It was shortly after my birthday, which is a couple days before. I just watched Monday Night Football the night before. Speaking of cable TV, you said you're working at a cable TV station.
Yeah.
I probably was celebrating and didn't pay my cable bill, so I had to watch it on Telemundo.
Oh, wow.
So Nuevo New Yorko or Nuevo York, I was getting in Spanish, which I can read and not speak, but I can sort of pick up every third word because native Californian, you assimilate a lot. So because I just didn't pay my cable bill in time, and it somehow. Anyways,
well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thanks.
His birthday was just this last September 6th. But the other thing is that for me, because even the newscasters didn't quite know what was going on yet.
Right.
So it was really the visuals that were taking you to a place where you're trying to digest the gravity of what was really happening.
But, before that, my phone had been going off the hook, and I think we have some guests on the phone right now as well.
Oh, we do? Okay, great. All right. Well, let's get to peace. My first guest is Sister Jenna, and I am so excited to have her on the show today. Sister Jenna, we're getting you on the phone, and we're having a little, I think, are we good to have her on the phone right now? All right. So very excited. Sister Jenna.
Hello, Nina.
Om
Shanti.
Om Shanti. You are one of my favorite people. And as you know, you are a spiritual mentor, a dynamic meditation expert, and you are the host of the popular America Meditating radio show, and you're founder of the Meditation Museum right there in Washington, D.C. What's going on in Washington, D.C. today in terms of the memorial and the tribute to 9/11?
Well, I believe that you might have heard our president's report recently.
Yes.
And in terms of memorials, there's usually always a sense of folks just coming out to pay tribute. And it's interesting because it's an event that has changed not only this country's life and story, but basically the world. And I'm always surprised how an event can change the way that we see ourselves and even each other. So there's usually silence and other getting together and just being together, whether it's at the Pentagon or I know in New York, they must be doing something over there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things, I don't know if you heard me say that, Mother Teresa, peace begins with a smile. And when I think of you, I think of your smile, right? And today's topic is getting to peace. And one of the things that you're here to talk about today is how we can get into our peace with the Om Challenge. So talk to us a little bit about what is the Om Challenge.
Sure. Well, firstly, I definitely want you to know that Vishal, who's the executive director for House of International, who's also on the air, would basically...
Hi.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing good, Nina. How are you?
Oh, great to have you on the air, too. And I'm so sorry that I didn't get that you were on the air as well. So nice to have you.
Thank
Great.
you.
We're going through a lot of different changes, and as you know, peace is a continuous request in our world's conversation. And with all of these variety of ways that people are trying to initiate peace in the world, at the core of my heart, spiritually speaking, I keep thinking it is something very simple, like what you said, it starts with a smile. So House of International Media, which is a production company, has really taken the leadership in launching this Om Challenge, and I am holding it in spirit and in spiritual support to bring it and to create a sense of spiritual authenticity. And I might just throw it over to Vishal to kind of share about what the whole initiative is. But more than anything else, Nina, I feel that when we experience peace within ourselves, we've just contributed to a world of peace. And on 9/11, a lot of us in this country and perhaps around the globe are really in need for a peaceful experience so we can change the story that we constantly hear on the news.
That's an amazing, love that challenge, because a lot of times what we see, hear, and experience in the news, we take it as real. And it's real important that we create our own story, not the story that's given to us a lot of the time. So, Vishal, talk to us a little bit about how the Om Challenge came to be.
Okay. Yeah, as Sister Jenna has put some light on, the involvement of House of International Media in initiating this whole thing of Om Challenge. It's a beautiful thing, because we feel that, peace is our integral part, and somehow we are losing it, and somehow there is a shortage of peace. And we thought that why not create an awareness of global peace, but create it locally. And that's how we planned out for the Om Challenge. But before that, I'd like to share that, House of International Media has been doing film, television series, and media projects which promote peace, which promote values in society and ultimately in the world. So this was a very beautiful opportunity that we got, and we thought that this has to be done. And that's why we have initiated this Om Challenge. Now, do you know about the Om Challenge, what this Om Challenge exactly is?
Well, I know what it is, but I don't think my listeners do. So take us through it.
All right. So I'll tell you. Om Challenge is you have to sit in a comfortable position. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe have your phone camera on.
Okay.
And record yourself chanting Om. Now, how do you chant Om? You sit comfortably, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, hold as much as you can in your lungs, and start chanting Om for 60 seconds nonstop.
Okay.
1 minute.
1 minute.
You have to chant Om for 1 minute. And after chanting Om, you have to nominate your friends, your family members, anyone that you know, to out-Om you. Out-Om as in, if you have gone till 20 seconds or 22 seconds or 18 seconds, they can out-Om you by doing it even more. And then they in turn can nominate someone else. So in this way, we're creating that buzz of having and experiencing peace within ourselves. And Om, as you know, it's such an ancient word. The whole rhythm of Om is very peaceful. I personally did the Om Challenge, and I felt so peaceful. And apart from that, I always do it. So it's an experience of peace that we are doing locally, but it is going to spread out in the whole world, and it's going to benefit the planet.
Now, I've got a question for you in regards to the Om, peace. Is there something that are they just in general peace, or is there something specific they want in regards to bringing more peace in their lives or others?
Well, who doesn't want peace? Tell me.
Yes. No, but is it general peace, or is it something that they want to evoke in themselves or others, or do they have a specific challenge, around peace?
Well, the Om Challenge is actually for promoting global peace. That is for sure. Mm-hmm. But how do we promote global peace until unless we ourselves don't feel peaceful? So
yes.
By chanting Om, everyone gets an opportunity to feel peaceful, to be peaceful, to recognize their own inner peace, and then emit peace in the world. So that is the whole objective.
And I'd like to interject here, Nina. In my heart, or my understanding of the challenge, it's something light and simple. And let's say that my own challenge is really for America to be a country that promotes peace within its people. And so I'm taking on the Om Challenge, and then I'll do my spiel to see how long I can actually create that vibration. So then when I'm done, I'll nominate someone to out-Om me. If you could do that, to just spread this awareness. And the aim, I know, for House of International Media is that as we collect Oms from around the world, to make it a 24-hour video footage on the Internet where people can just turn in, and there are people in Russia, people in Syria, people in Iraq, Afghanistan, India, Europe are chanting Om, and just imagine, Nina, what that's going to feel like when we actually accomplish that.
So there's also a social media component to it. So once we do that, it's that we're also passing it on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely correct, because when all the people do these Om chanting recordings, they can upload it on their Facebook pages, on their social networking sites. They can tag their friends, and those friends in turn can again chant Om, and they can do the same thing, so that we create this whole vibe all around the world.
I love it. And then they can also donate. And what is the donation for?
The thing is, because House of International Media is associated, and we are responsible for doing a lot of charitable work, and those charities are doing in turn a lot of work for peace, global peace. So for that, we have made this initiative, and we are requesting people to donate as much as they can, as much as they feel, and we have got a mobile donating number, okay, mobile texting number, and that number is 41444, and the keyword is OM, and that will lead them to our page, and, they can do the donation as much as they can.
I love it. So if you text 41444 on your phone, you can donate. You can also go to their Facebook page. It's the OM. Yeah, it's the OM Challenge community page on Facebook, and I would imagine it's facebook.com/OM Challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. So why do you think, and this is a question for both of you, but I'll start with you, Sister Jenna, why do you think it is so difficult in this day and age to create and find peace in our lives?
The acronym ALGE that I use all the time that you've heard me say like a broken record, because it's so fundamental and at the root of our suffering as people. A for anger, L for lust, G for greed, A for attachment, E for ego. It has infiltrated our system so much in our thoughts and our words and our feelings that it's almost become a norm to come from that place. But it reaches a point where it reaches its critical mass within our systems, and we just can't cope anymore. So all these reactions and all of this imbalance in not only our lives, but in nature, in the elements, in the environment, are all a sign that something within our own being, our souls, have lost its light. So how do you remove algae from consciousness when consciousness is so subtle and so deep? And that's where we need to find methods like healthy eating, having a good, healthy vegetarian diet, beginning to incorporate some sort of a disciplined practice of being in tune with your own thoughts and feelings. As you know, we wake up early in the morning, but to be consistent in your pattern for you, because the more you're disciplined, the more your mind is free. Then there are methods in which you do something like chanting Om. Om empties the mind from a lot of unnecessary and waste thoughts until we start to lean into our sorrow or peacelessness with the intention that that's not who I am and I've got to come back to who I really am designed. That peacelessness that we keep seeing, Nina, will keep spreading. And I wish there was a magic wand that we could just wave over the world and everyone will be fine, but it isn't. It becomes a personal responsibility for individuals to care enough about their own inner resources and do something about it, and don't wait for someone or something to fix them. It's going to be entirely up to them to be fixed. So when House of International Media came to me about the OM Challenge, I said, that's awesome, because it's so simple. And Nina, after 10 seconds, your face starts to turn looking like a Murph, like a little, I don't know, funny-looking thing, because as simple as it seems, that can't I hold the Om chant or silence for 60 seconds, you begin to value every second of your life. You're like, I have not been able to chant Om for 60 seconds.
Wow.
And
wow.
For 15 or 20 seconds, I'm like, wow. Is
Yeah.
every second that valuable in my life?
Well, and also I love how the Om, Om, it's connected to your heart chakra, because when you say it and you breathe it, it's completely connecting you to yourself, because you're breathing, right? And also the sound vibrates your heart chakra.
Right. And in Indian mythology, many of the prayers or rituals that they do before they engage in it, they go into an Om sound. And there's a saying, the voice of Om, it creates magic. That when you can settle the energies that are just going wild in your system and you just Om it down, then stuff starts to get just a little bit clearer and a little bit easier for you.
And Vishal, that question to you, what would be your answer?
For me, it is, as Sister Jenna mentioned about the algae, that is there, 100%. But for me, it is, like people, day-to-day people all around the world, no matter it is America or any place in the world, we are so consumed by the day-to-day inadequacy and day-to-day shortage of our lives, basically. And that puts us in a very, very insecure position. We don't have the sense of security. We don't feel that. And that is the reason we're kind of losing our own selves, you know. And with this Om, how it creates spaces, I'll tell you my own experience. Like every time when I chant Om, not only me, I can assure you everyone, the exact moment when we chant Om and the Om sound is coming out of myself, I lose everything. I am absolutely connected to the most true part of myself. And that's the time I feel so connected and I feel so peaceful. And that, without even me noticing or knowing, that emits those peaceful vibrations. And that gives me peace, basically. So that, in turn, brings me into a stable position where I can think straight, I can work straight, I can see straight.
Wow.
So that is a very, very beautiful and effective way that I have experienced personally. So I felt if I have experienced this in this day and age when the world is surely not going to a very beautiful place with all the problems and, you know, all the things that are happening globally, I think this would really create that kind of a ripple effect where people can experience it locally and it will be promoted globally, you know? That's my reasoning.
It's simple and yet very powerful. Om, donate, nominate, 41444. Go to the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/the Om Challenge for the community page there. Encourage you to do your own Om Challenge. And guys, just as a send-off, you guys want to do the Om?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right. On that note, may the peace and love be with you.
Thank you so much, Nina. All the very best.
All right.
Everyone there. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be back in just a moment.
See straight and save. These days, everyone seems to see things differently. But from your eyes, you can see straight and save. Right now, get glasses online at 70% off at Glasses USA. There's a 100% guarantee, too, on top brand men, women, multifocal, and even prescription sunglasses. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Glasses USA, and you will see straight and save.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. earthchannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things, like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget, web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now, so come to earthchannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 800-849-8978. That's 800-849-8978.
Okay, you're stressed. You need a little R&R. Wouldn't going to a spa help? There's all kinds of spas, too. Destination spas, medical spas, day spas, even dental and mobile spas. Where do you find the right spa at the right price? Oh, no, more stress? Well, not anymore. Visit spafinders.com. At spafinders.com, you'll find everything you need to know about spas from around the world. So de-stress. Click on spafinders.com right on our homepage. Oh, I'm feeling relaxed already.
We're HealthyLife.net, reaching and helping a worldwide audience without hype, without shock, and without shenanigans.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the LifeBites radio show. I'm Nina Bosky, and we are talking about getting to peace. And want to thank Sister Jenna from America's Meditating, and also her partner in the Om Challenge from the House of International Media, Executive Director Vishal Hiraskar. And I want to encourage you to do your own Om challenge, and it's for those of you who are just tuning in, it's almost like the ATL challenge, with the cold water, except for this one might be a little bit more fun in the sense that you don't have to go through the cold water, and you're also promoting something, especially today, that marks the anniversary of 9/11, and sometimes, on a bigger issue in terms of world peace, we always ask ourselves, what can we do? And this is sometimes just a very simple exercise to tune in and ask ourselves, how can I become more peaceful? And my next guest is going to help us with that. Her name is Dawn Paul, as she goes by that. That is her spiritual yoga name. Donna Quesada. She is a professor of Eastern spiritual philosophy at Santa Monica College. I started at Santa Monica College back in the day. An author and meditation teacher. Her book, Buddha in the Classroom and Zen Wisdom to Inspire Teachers, was released by Skyhorse Publications back in 2011. It is now scheduled for re-release in 2015, which that means it's doing well. And she received her formal training in Zen Buddhist tradition and is a certified yoga instructor in multiple traditions, including yoga therapy with Dr. Larry Payne and Kundalini Yoga under Guru Singh, which is one of my mentors. And she currently teaches at Yoga West, and that is the home of Kundalini Yoga. And with that, I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Nina. I'm really happy to be here today.
Well, I'm glad to have you here too, because one of your kind of next step manifestations is really to help people, and I'm sure you do this in your everyday life right now, but more on a meditation front, to give people the short type of meditations to help them get centered in and to get more peaceful in their life.
Exactly. In fact, that's why I feel so fortunate to be teaching what I teach at the college, because we start each class period by meditating for about 5 minutes. And a lot of my students tell me that they're doing better in their finals for other classes because they learned how to just stop and breathe. And even for a few minutes, it makes a difference.
Well, it's kind of interesting you say that, because I remember at 8 o'clock in the morning I had astronomy, and it was in that building, with all the stars and stuff, and I remember thinking, wow, the world is such a bigger place. I could only imagine if I started out with meditation every day, wow, that would be powerful. So talk to us a little bit about why doing these little refreshers could be very important, like you just said.
Well, one of my students asked me the other day, what do I do about my thoughts? I can't stop my thoughts. And it's true, we can't stop our thoughts. And we say in yoga, our mind only has one master, and that's the breath. And so even if we stop for 1 minute and just take a nice deep breath in, the mind starts to settle on its own. It never works if we fight against it. Something might have gone wrong at work and we're sitting there spinning and stewing over something. And it just doesn't work when we get caught up into it. And it doesn't seem to work when we try to push those thoughts away either. But the one thing that we can do, the one little bit of power we have, is to stop and breathe. And it only takes a minute to really change the way our body feels. Our nervous system starts to become more relaxed once we start breathing deeply.
So let's get right into it. We've been talking about peace. Let's do an exercise to help us get into that peaceful moment. Now, if you're driving, guys, this isn't going to work, but you can always come back and listen to it in the archives. But for those of you that are listening in and somewhere stationary, let's have you take us through a meditation exercise.
Absolutely, and I kind of thought about this, and I'll do it in such a way that even if you're at your desk, or in the middle of a busy environment, you can just stop and check in and take a couple of deep breaths and become more centered no matter where you are. I won't have you close your eyes. You can close your eyes if you want to, if you happen to be at home. All right, so let's just stop and begin by taking a nice deep breath in, no matter where you are, at your desk or in your living room. Just feel what it feels like to become present with your body and to take a nice deep breath down to the bottom of your lungs. And once we become present with our body, we get out of the spin cycle of our mind. We get out of the worries and the tension. And as you start to take these breaths in your own rhythm, breathing at your own pace, let your breathing become deeper. We say in Zen, feel as though your nose were right below your belly button. Breathe into your belly. Breathe deeply. And really allow yourself to pause at the top of that breath before releasing it. And when you release each breath, let your exhale be very full and complete. And as you continue to do this, really start to feel your lungs expand against your rib cage. Elongate your spine and feel as though you're breathing into every cell of your body. Become very present with your body. Begin to let go of any worries or doubts. And letting your breath just slow down naturally. Letting it settle into its own natural rhythm. And just begin to notice your world with your ears, without focusing on anything in particular, just allowing everything to be as it is, without pushing anything away, without attaching to anything, just noticing. Continuing to breathe. Notice also your thoughts, any persistent worry that keeps coming up, without pushing it away, without spinning it into a big story. Just notice it. Come back to your breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Not attaching to anything in particular. And as you continue in this way, begin to breathe in gratitude, as if you could breathe gratitude into every cell, every molecule of your body, filling up your being with light. Gratitude for this breath, this moment, this life, this day. And breathe out any tension, any worry, any doubt. Breathing in peace, as if you could breathe in waves of calmness. Inhaling that feeling into your body, relaxing with every breath. And exhaling out any anger, any anxiety, any stress. And feeling the tension leaving your body, feeling your shoulders relax. Feeling your face relax. Elongating your spine with each breath. Breathing space into each vertebra. And feeling that feeling of gratitude fill up your body. Feeling your thoughts start to settle on their own. And again, begin to notice any persistent thoughts or any chatter in the background of your mind, perhaps something gripping you, and just be present with it, not pushing it away, not getting involved in it, resisting the temptation to get caught up in it, just watching these thoughts like waves brushing up against the shore. And then they roll away again. And just breathe again into this moment, breathing in gratitude and breathing out tension.
All right. Well, Donna, thank you so much, Don Paul, your spiritual, wonderful presence today in helping us get to that peaceful place. You can go to presenceyoga.org to learn more about her, get her book, wonderful book, Buddha in the Classroom. Don Paul, thank you so much for being on the show today and helping us get into the peace.
And I have a new CD with more of these meditations as well.
Great, and they can find it on your website.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thanks, Nina.
Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you need quality auto parts, Auto Part Warehouse is fast and easy. Always get the part that fits. Just enter your vehicle type specific to your car. Auto body parts, mirrors, brakes, suspension, steering, engines, and drivetrain. Need something yet? What about exterior or interior accessories or headlights? Auto Parts Warehouse has them. Top brands, great prices. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Auto Parts Warehouse.
If you're in Southern California, you might want to consider HealthyLife.net radio for advertising. We have 18 hosts that have shows with loyal listeners just in Southern California. That means you get local advertising and the world for the same affordable price. With packages for every budget, you can't afford not to let that economic sunshine in for your business. Call now, 1-800-555-5453. That's 1-800-555-5453.
To be a good father is the most important job in a man's life. But it doesn't have to be hard. Play catch. Go to a park or visit a zoo. Help your child with their homework. Sit down together for dinner. Ask them how their day was. Things get busy, and sometimes we all fall short. But the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
For more than 20 years, Homeboy Industries has made a difference in the lives of former gang members and at-risk youth in Los Angeles. Their free programs and services have given hope and opportunity to thousands in their signature businesses: Homeboy Bakery, Homegirl Cafe and Catering, Homeboy Silkscreen and Embroidery, and Homeboy Merchandise. Offers hands-on training in a safe work environment. Donate to Homeboy today and help them continue their important work. To find out more, call 323-526-1254 or visit online at www.homeboy-industries.org.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the LifeBites radio show where entertainment meets life. We are getting to the piece. Yes, boy, between the Om Challenge and Don Paul, man, if you're not peaceful by the time you get out of this radio show this morning, I don't know what to say. But my next guest is going to put a little twist on things. His name is Michael Oden. He's the Deputy Probation Officer in the state of California with a master's degree in counseling psychology. For 15 years, he's supervised and interviewed thousands of clients who are under the jurisdiction of the criminal justice system. And Michael believes in helping individuals who have had issues with substance dependency for most of their lives. He's dedicated his professional life to champion the belief that, you know, gaining emotional freedom from addiction is possible. And he, as I said earlier in the show, he helped me at the Los Angeles Mission. He was helping not me, but the men of the Los Angeles Mission in working through their process as well. So he, too, is helping people getting to their peace. And he has a new book out, and it's called When Nobody's Home. Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what this book is about.
Well, the book's about shedding light on traumatic experiences from childhood that impact one's choices, you know, that for them to engage in long-term drug dependency, and how using those drugs will meet certain emotional needs, okay, or emotional safety. And what I've done is I conducted over 8,000 interviews with alcohol and drug offenders over a 7-year period, and it kind of gives you a through line as to what was the bottom line. And what I discovered was that most of them did not have a father, or there was parental neglect. And what they did is that they happened to use drugs and alcohol frequently over the years to, you know, to escape reality and to, you know, to hide behind that pain.
Well, it's interesting because Virginia Woolf has a wonderful quote. It says, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life." And you think about what you just said about childhood. That's the foundational aspect of all of us. And if you don't have peace in childhood, how, easy is it for us to just create traumatic experiences as we grow up?
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And one of the questions I used to ask my clients was this: why did you start?
Wow. And what was their answer?
And as I was, over the years, I would keep notes of the answers I would get. And here's the number one answer: I don't know. No one ever asked me that question.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's an interesting question. I think that is, the basis of self-discovery, when somebody can start asking themselves those questions. Who is this book for?
The book's for people in the helping professions, MFTs, counselors, treatment centers, and people who really want to take a look as to why they chose to use drug as a form of, medication or, to escape life.
One of the things that, I've worked with people and know people in this state is that question that you asked that was so powerful. Why did you start? And one of the things I will ask people when they relapse is, what was that trigger that made you relapse? And a lot of times people don't know that either.
Exactly. And here's a phrase that I use. It goes like this: you may be clean, but are you free?
Ooh, wow. Gosh, that's powerful.
Okay.
That's powerful.
Yeah, that thing you may stop using, but the thing that has haunted you to have gotten you to use drugs in the first place has not been healed or answered.
Wow, to me, that is really, really powerful, because you can stop a behavior and still not be at peace.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. When you get you at peace, now you can start navigating in the world in a more harmonious, peaceful manner, and it makes life a lot easier. So we can have all these programs and things which I think are really great, but if you still have that thing inside you that drives you for life-diminishing behavior, then those programs aren't going to be as effective as if you were at peace with yourself. Well,
and also tonight, one of the reasons why I also wanted to have you on the show is that you're going to be doing a book signing in Redondo Beach in the South Bay of Los Angeles. Tell us a little bit where you're going to be and what time.
Well, the book signing is going to be at Islands Restaurant in Redondo Beach between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Wow. Okay. And they can get a copy of your book and obviously a wonderful signing of it too. I am so excited for you because I know this has been a passion of yours. It's so greatly needed, Michael.
The reason I wrote the book is because when I saw that when they got their answers as to why they started, I'd say 50% of you can see the emotional burden would drop about 50 to 70% inside them.
Wow.
And they could shift and do something different. And that's why I said, this has got to get out there. I even asked my clients, do you think this is a good product that I have, so to speak, to help people? And they said, yes, Mr. O, need you to get this out there. So, I had cancer last year, and then I used that time to finish the book.
Well, I take it you're in remission.
Yes, I am, actually.
Wonderful. Congratulations. And also, in terms of getting to peace, this book, When Nobody's Home, where is it available at, too, if they want to buy it?
It's available at Borders.
Okay.
Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Amazon, yes.
All right. So all the three, biggies, Barnes & Noble, Borders, and Amazon.
Yes.
All right. So his book is When Nobody's Home. Michael Oden, he is getting to help you with your peace. If you know somebody or you yourself or you're a practitioner helping people with addiction and recovery, this is the book you want to get. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today and helping us get to peace.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, and he'll be at Islands Restaurant today in Redondo Beach. You're listening to LifeBites Radio, and we'll be back in just a moment talking about Marilyn Monroe.
Shh! Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
Use Royal Essence Organic Bulgarian Rosewater and stress will melt away. Emotions become balanced. Skin will be healed, moisturized, and tightened. Produced in the Valley of Roses in Bulgaria, Royal Essence Organic Bulgarian Rosewater comes from the highest quality rose oil in the world. For thousands of years, rosewater has been prized for its cosmetic and medicinal purposes, and now you can get the best. Visit RoyalEssence.com or call 949-357-9389. That's 949-357-9389.
If you're in the UK, you can have a healthier pet for less by going to Pet Supermarket. Whether you have a dog, cat, bird, fish, reptile, or other small pet, you can get everything you need for your pet for less. They have the brands you know and trust. You can even buy gift certificates and doggy clothing and apparel. Get your pet everything they need from nose to tail. Visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on Pet Supermarket now.
You're listening to CHSR, Real Radio on the web.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the LifeBites radio show, where entertainment meets life. Well, today we're talking about getting to peace, and we've been all over the board from Om Shanti to talking about addiction and recovery, and now we're going to switch things up a little bit and get into entertainment, and we're going to ask the question, do you think that Marilyn Monroe is at peace, and do you think the public is at peace with her death? Interesting, I've got my partner on Bungalow 42 Productions and the writer of the screenplay, Goodnight Marilyn, with us. He is a graduate of the USC School of Cinema. He's written 2 screenplays, Night Fighters, and HBO world premiere of Extramarital, which is a HBO movie. And he is now the screenwriter of Goodnight Marilyn, and as I said, my partner in Bungalow 42 Productions, Don O'Melveny. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nina. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you. If you heard the question is, do you think that Marilyn is at peace? And the reason why I ask you this, and it's been coming up the last couple of weeks for us and our team and our marketing team, because we are really looking at potentially reopening the case of Marilyn and helping the public sign a petition. And so with that said, it's all over the board. Everybody has a different opinion of Marilyn. What do you think? Do you think she's at peace?
Well, I think that there's sort of I look at this from a wide angle. Let's use a movie phrase, a wide angle. And one of the angles has Marilyn being at peace, because I think Marilyn would be very happy with the popularity that she continues to enjoy, and the the magic that she sort of brings to the world, and just the fans all over the world, all the countries. She is, I think, number 3 on the list of popular celebrities who have passed on. So I think from that aspect, Marilyn would be very happy. But the other angle on this is Norma Jean. And I think Norma Jean is not, it has some, she is still a little bit concerned with the fact that her death has been regarded as a suicide. And Norma Jean was always the dreamer of the pair. And so I think Norma Jean at this point is still dreaming. She dreamed Marilyn into existence. She dreamed the career that Marilyn had. And I think at this point, Norma Jean is dreaming of getting the real story out, what really happened to her, and also the fact that she would like the autopsy coroner's verdict to go from probable suicide to just to remove the suicide angle, because she was not on a depressed downward spiral.
Okay.
And I think Norma Jean wants the world to know this, and that is what Norma Jean is still dreaming about today.
Interesting. Well, one of the things that I think is, for people that don't know exactly what happened to Marilyn, if some people know or some people don't, most people know that the 36-year-old actress body was discovered in the early hours of August 5th by two doctors who were then called to her Brentwood home by a concerned housekeeper. The doctors were forced to break into her bedroom after being unable to open the door. She was found lying naked and in her bed with an empty bottle of Nebutal sleeping pills by her side. Well, the local coroner who visited the scene later said the circumstances of Marilyn Monroe's death indicated a possible suicide. However, based on her autopsy, she died somewhere between 9 p.m. and 12. However, the police were not called until after 4 a.m. So is the public okay? I'm asking the question, is the public at peace with her death? Well, Jan from Washington, D.C. says, Marilyn has always been one of my favorites. When I was young, I was told I looked like her, so she's always had a special place in my heart. I think she definitely was murdered and not at all at peace. Mike from San Diego says, I don't know if she was murdered. If she was, I doubt she's at peace. I also think that is why the public will never put her death to rest. Something about it does not feel right. It looks like a duck. It walks like a duck. It quacks like a duck. It must be a duck, and the same is true for her death. Carol from San Antonio says, I don't believe that the Kennedys or anyone else had anything to do with her death. I think she was an addict, and that night she took more than she thought. Plain and simple. She was a tortured soul, and I think that she may be at peace now, given her life was so messed up. And that was from people from the LifeBites Facebook page chiming in on, do you think Marilyn is at peace? So what do you say to that, Dawn?
Well, I do not believe the public is at peace with Marilyn's death, and I think that's one of the driving forces that keeps her ever fascinated by the public, because they know something is not square about all the circumstances that are awry with this case. So, there are so many different angles you can go at this, but I think the bottom line is that just like JFK's death, people do not buy the official version. And so as long as that official version stays what it is, I think the public will always smell that there's something off in this, and they are not at peace with it. And I think that's, again, one of the forces that keeps Marilyn so popular.
Well, and
they know that.
That's also what keeps not only our team very passionate about this, but all of her fans as well. I have an interesting quote from JFK, John F. Kennedy. Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, and quietly building new structures. And Dawn, thanks for being on the show. I'm just going to give a quick insight into the movie Goodnight Marilyn. It's a film thriller. It's about the most notorious unsolved murder mysteries of our time, or mysteries of our time, we should say. It blends the real-life characters of the Kennedys, the mob, old Hollywood, and yes, one of the most iconic and infamous stars in history, Marilyn Monroe. Goodnight Marilyn is the story behind the story. It's not just another biopic. It's a story that glorifies the star's life. It delves into the people, the events surrounding the last 3 days preceding her death, and what really happened that legendary night back in 1962. And with that said, good night, Marilyn. Keep a lookout for it, and thank you so much, Dawn, for being on the show and shedding some light on Marilyn Monroe and peace.
Okay, Neil. Having me on.
All right. You're listening to LifeBites Radio, and we'll be back with our closing moments.
I love food, and I love to eat. The cooking and cleaning part, not so much. And then I found a link to the chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page, and I was happy to find all sorts of amazing recipes and tips on cooking, in addition to great chef-quality kitchen equipment and savings as well. Now I look forward to my time in the kitchen thanks to chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page.
NASCAR champion Bobby Labonte here with my brother Terry and my nephew Justin. You know, every sport has its essential safety gear.
For racing, we wear helmets, fire retardant suits, and Nomex gloves.
For fishing, waterfowl hunting, and boating, we wear life jackets.
After an intense race, there's nothing more relaxing than bass fishing.
Or a little duck hunting on the lake.
But we're the first ones to tell you, on the track or on the water, accidents happen fast.
In a crash, there's no time to put on a helmet. And when a boater capsizes or is thrown from the boat, there's rarely time to reach a stowed life jacket.
But today's life jackets are lightweight and comfortable. Fishing or hunting, they don't get in your way.
That's why you won't catch a Labonte on the water without a life jacket.
Don't let us catch you either. Remember, you're in command. Boat safely.
This message brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. For more information on boating safety, visit www.uscgboating.org.
For more than 20 years, Homeboy Industries has made a difference in the lives of former gang members and at-risk youth in Los Angeles. Their free programs and services have given hope and opportunity to thousands and their signature businesses. Homeboy Bakery, Homegirl Cafe and Catering, Homeboy Silkscreen and Embroidery, and Homeboy Merchandise offers hands-on training in a safe work environment. Donate to Homeboy today and help them continue their important work. To find out more, call 323-526-1254 or visit online at www.homeboy-industries.org.
Music, information, and friends. HealthyLife.net.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. I'd like to say thank you to all of my guests, from Sister Jenna to the House of International Media for the Om Challenge, Don Paul, Donna Quesada, and her wonderful meditation to help us get into peace. Michael Oden and his new book, When Nobody's Home. Remember, go to Islands today at 6 p.m. from 6 to 8. He'll be doing a book signing there. And writer and author Don O'Melveny of Goodnight, Maryland. All today talking about getting to peace. And one of my favorite quotes is from Francis Assisi, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. And another wonderful quote, when the power of love overcomes the power of the world will know peace. Lead with love, guys. Try it for a day with everyone you meet. On that note, until next time, I'm Nina Bosky from LifeBites, and remember to take a bite out of life before life takes a bite out of you.